Hi there, my name is Roy Stewart Healy, and I help people expand their awareness. And welcome to my first video in this series. It's Expand Your Awareness 101. I want to start with very basic stuff. I want to go through it and grow into it. First of all, though, I'd like to start with my friend Bryce Marsden. I call them all my friends, but anyway, this is important, and I want to read this to you to start off the whole thing. He says, the possibilities of thought training are infinite, its consequences eternal, and yet few take pains to direct their thinking into channels that will do them good, but instead leave them all to chance. And that's Bryce Marden. But leaving all to chance, this is what I'm saying to you. Don't leave it all to chance. Follow me and I'll show you how not to leave them to chance, to channel your thinking. That's what we need to be doing to expand our consciousness. All right. I started doing this before The Secret. The Secret I looked at about 15 years ago. But before that, when I was about in my mid-20s, I had an incident in a nightclub. And I won't go through the incident, but it was just really so flaky and plasticky to me. So I stomped out, I gathered my things, stomped out, and got in my car and beat on the steering wheel, saying, "I hate plastic people." And then I realized there must be more to life. I just felt so. The whole incident felt so like everybody was shallow and life was shallow, and there must be more to life than this. So I started looking from then, actually. But about 15 years ago, I came across the video "The Secret," and many of you would know it, might know it. I watched it. Someone felt he must show it to me. And I'm laughing because he showed it to me, but then felt he mustn't have anything to do with me after that, which was very strange. But anyway, I watched it and it triggered something in me. I could see there was truth. Here and there was truth. It was a bit, what's the word? Some of it felt a bit flaky, but there was truth there. I could feel it, and I wanted to know not just how to use that truth and how to make that work for me. It's about the law of attraction mainly, and I could realize that was truth, and the witness with me. And then I wanted to know not just how to get that working. I wanted to know how it worked. That was the important thing to me. I wanted to know in depth how that worked, and that set me off on a journey. And the journey took me to all sorts of stuff. And I've been researching and looking and speaking and listening to people and reading books also for years and years. These people are some of my favorite people at the moment. You've got to research, you've got to investigate, you've got to check. And I don't just check the good sides, I check the bad sides. In South Africa, before I came to the Isle of Wight here, I had a career one of my careers, I had a dual career of advertising agency. I did some motivational speaking, I did some life coaching. So I've been doing this for quite a while now. Sending out, some of you would know that you were getting video emails from me for about 18 months long every day on this type of thing. So some of you have been with me for a long time, and I like that. But now I want to start from scratch and go with it. My thing is, it's not just about the time. It's you look at the clock and you know the time. But if you knew the workings of how it worked, the actual clock, I find it would be much more. Maybe it's not a great analogy, but it works that you know the workings of it, not just what the time is, how to change the time. Basically, that's what it is. So I want to do that, and I want to teach a series on life, basically, and 101, and go through the various stuff. So yes, we'll start with the law of attraction. It's a part of what we do, whether people like it or not. It's a part of what they do. I've heard statistics on the Secret that saying that only 3% of people, which is 97% of people, didn't get it working for them. I believe, I know I have it working for me. I'm one of the 3%, say, but I didn't get it just from watching the video. I've got it from another 15 years of study and research and change in me, really. It was me that had to change. It wasn't anything else on the outside. I had to change my understanding. I had to change my awareness. I had to change, baggage and stuff, which I'll come to next in a minute. So this is one of my favorite guys I like, Mike Dooley. Mike says thoughts become things, and thoughts do become things. They really do. So it's not quite that simple. I wish it was. You can't just say, I'm thinking of a red bicycle standing over there, and one appears. No, we can't do that. But thoughts do become things, and yes, I can tell you how that works and show you how that works. So what I needed to do, and I wrote a book, and I have a book on that. And there's my book. It's the pictures there as well. It's freeing your mind. It's about setting yourself free, getting rid of your thinking, getting rid of what you negative thinking and stuff. And obviously, it's a whole teaching. I won't get into that very minute. But it's about life sentences. There's a guy in jail. He's in bondage because of his life. Well, he's been given a life sentence. So, but you've been given life sentences. I have. I had plenty. I wrote the book, so I knew what they were. So I found a lot of them, and I'll come back to that. And I'll be teaching on that. I'm going to probably do a whole video on that. Then the next one, the placebo effect and the nocebo effect. Have you heard of that? There's a nocebo effect as well as a placebo effect, and that affects you daily in your decisions, and things that happen around you are affected by that. So I want to be teaching on and showing you and giving you, explaining that to you. Then the selective perception. I'm amazed at how important this principle is in your life, and I don't think I've ever heard it taught by anybody else. I think I'm the only person that teaches it as a need to understand in your life. Selective perception. There you get different people. It's the story of the elephant, and people having different experiences by touching different parts of the all three blind people. In that picture there, one touches the tail, and that's his experience of the elephant. He says, no, elephant. Somebody tells him this is an elephant. It's a long thing, skinny thing with a hair on the end. And the other one in the middle there says it's brown. So basically, each person has a different perception of what an elephant looks like. And it's the same with life, each of us. So, and that affects us. It affects us daily in our decisions and things that happen to us every single day. I'll come and teach on that. Then quantum physics. The thing with quantum physics is people seem to be, seem to think it's too intellectual. But in its very basic form, it's not at all. It's just, it's not. Newtonian physics is about gravity. And I mentioned that in a video that I filmed the other day, that it's, you either deal with Newtonian physics or you can deal with quantum physics. But quantum physics affects us in the things we do and see into the nth degree, which is, nth degree, that wasn't meant to be a pun, but I'll take it. So we need to understand quantum physics to some extent, at least how it's affecting us, what the scientists of today. The thing is, Newtonian physics was obviously many years ago, but the science of today is quantum physics. So why are we not understanding what that is? I understand what gravity does. I understand what Newtonian physics do, how they affect me and what I have to do. It means if I jump out of a building, I go down and it's high enough, I kill myself. So I understand that, but why don't we understand how quantum physics affects us and what effects that it has on our daily lives? We need to know that. Here's one about vibration. Radio, everything's waves, light waves, radio waves. Everything's waves. So we need to know about how the waves affect us, how our vibration affects us. This is a chart telling you how about different things that go on in our lives, how they affect our vibration is what they say, but how it affects us, how it affects our moods and how it affects our life. I'll teach you about that. Latest one is a fun one, is how the heart and the brain function together. And in my book, I actually wrote that the consciousness and subconsciousness, wrote about that. That's what that's about quite a bit. And to some extent, I think your heart might be the subconscious. But anyway, whatever it is, you say, I haven't got the heart for that. I have a heart. You say that, don't you? So there is something going on there. There's the scientists of today have discovered a connection that we need to know about because it affects us daily. Really, it affects us daily. So I'll be expanding on that. Okay, so what I'm wanting to do, what I'm suggesting we do, is that we need to make time every day to learn about this. I've been doing this now. Sure, I bet you must be up to 40 years, not on this subject, but on expanding my understanding, expanding my awareness about different subjects, of investigating different subjects. So I journal. You need a journal. This is my journal here. I'll show you. That's mine. It's a colourful one at the moment. This one's nearly full. I'll have to be looking for another one. So I write in it on a daily basis, pretty much a daily basis, every day, different stuff, whatever's sparked me. That quotation of that opened up, different stuff that I would write. Anything that, if you were watching me, there'd be lots to write down, and then just what you're feeling, what you're getting from God, what God telling you. Anything that's exciting that you come across, and you put it down. And then, yes, I'll give you a bit of homework as well, because you've got things have to do. It takes work, it takes effort. So you need to be getting up a bit earlier in the mornings, and putting some effort, journaling, praying, meditating, whatever you want to do, spending time alone quietly. Call them power hours or quiet times or exciting times, but on a daily basis, I get up at least an hour earlier, and then put some effort into changing my life and into understanding how I change my life, of various ways, shapes, and forms. And I want to encourage you. One needs to do that. We can't. We've got to channel our mind into the ways we want it to go, and not just let it go to chance, as the chappie said. So look here. Once this is, I'm very fond of Albert Einstein and his quotes, and we haven't applied them. He quoted them, 50, 60 years ago, 60 odd years ago, and we haven't taken notice of them. We know them, they're around. I'll be quoting them, I'll explaining some of them to you, but this is a nice, easy one. Once you stop learning, you start dying. So, no matter how old you are, according to that, I don't want to be starting. I'm a youngster. I want to carry on, despite the grey beard. So once you stop learning, you start dying. So this is a good opportunity to start learning. It's learning how to expand your awareness, learn how to change your circumstances. If you need to change it, some of us are in places where we don't want to be. Many of us are. We could be in better places. We could have better relationships, better life, actually. And I want to encourage you to do that. So I'm inviting you to find out how the thing works, how the clock works, how life works, how the world works, how the universe works. I have, as I said, I've been studying this in depth on a daily basis for years and years and years. And just recently, I've been having lots of promptings from all over, from my wife and from friends, and just from God, just telling me that it's time I got out there and did what I'm doing now. So I'm being obedient, but I'm also, perhaps fulfilling my calling. This is what I enjoy doing. I'm a talker, as you can tell, and as my friends will testify. So I might as well use my gifting to help others, and that's what I want to be doing here. So this is esoteric. So what I want to do, one of the chaps I listen to is always saying, "Oh, this is esoteric. This is a bit out there," which means it's out there. It's a bit wild and woolly. But mainly, for a start, at least I don't want to be out there wild and woolly. I have got one that's important that I need to be sharing with you soon. I was going to make it number 2, but I've decided to delay it a little bit. That is esoteric, but if you don't know that, so I'll share that. But mainly, I'm just down to earth, wanting to. That's what I want to be. I mean, there's other people you can go and listen to. And yes, what I want to be saying is, please feel free. I mean, I'd encourage you to look at other people. Anything I share, check out. Don't believe me. try other people. That's what I've done. In fact, I like to look at both sides. If somebody says something, I'll go and have a look what the other side says, because there's always another side. Whatever you say, somebody's got an opinion exactly opposite to yours. So I go and see what they're at, and then I weigh it up, and I discern which is the truth, or which is the truth I want to follow, and which works for me. So I'd encourage you to research it, follow it. Don't just take things I say for granted. Really don't do that. Don't get dogmatic. I think one of the big problems we have is that we're too dogmatic. We would not shift our opinions from anything, and that's bondage. Because we do change over the years and years. We change our opinions about different things. So you can't. I would say, do not be dogmatic about any single thing at all. Be willing to see if there's not an expansion on that truth, a different truth, another truth, whatever on that. But don't get stuck with one belief and be refused to open your mind to what else might be out there and might be happening. There is other good stuff happening, so we need to be looking at what it is. Okay, so my invitation is to you. Come for a walk with me. Come for a walk through life with me. And I will teach you what I know, and you can, as I said, check it out. What I've learned, I've discerned, and I've thrown away such a lot over the years that there was rubbish and nonsense and not right. And I've taken, as far as I can tell, as far as I believe, I've taken the good, and what I want to teach you is that life can be better. Life can be fun. Life can be exciting. You can model it. You can determine what happens to you in a very real way. And I want to teach you that. So come for a walk with me, and let me teach you, let me help you, let me guide you. So I'm suggesting that you grow well. I want you to grow well. That's one of my little sayings. Don't go well. I want you to grow well. We need to be growing. So grow well. Thanks for listening. Till next time.